Hello and welcome to Pardon the Integration, Rethink Your Backup Strategy, a podcast where we discuss the trends in the channel today. I'm your host, Kenna Johnson from the Channel Company. My guest today is Chelsea Rodgers. She's a Director of Channel Marketing at Wasabi Technologies. Chelsea, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be talking about ways to rethink your backup strategy. The way our program works is we have 3 topics to discuss, and we have 3 minutes to talk about each. You'll see a countdown clock at the bottom of your screen. Today, we'll discuss the history and current state of backup recovery, challenges with backup, and how can Wasabi help. So let's get started. Segment 1, the history and current state of backup. Historically, how have your customers approached backup?
Traditionally, our customers have approached backup by backing their data up either to an on-premise, storage area network, or a NAS device, or even off-premise onto something like LTO tape. But most organizations are still not leveraging cloud as part of their backup strategy. And in the world of ransomware and security threats that are popping up every day, it's really important to have, another copy available in the cloud should you need it.
Why are the current approaches to backup not keeping up?
Aside from the obvious kind of physical disaster like a fire or a flood or a hardware failure, which can result in total data loss if you're storing your backups on the same location as your primary data, the real challenge with traditional backup approaches is scalability. With storage hardware, you consistently have to monitor your storage consumption so that you don't run out of space. So you need to be ahead of data growth, or you're forced to delete data. You don't want to do that. Data can be the lifeblood of your business. If there's anything that we've learned in the last 10 years, it's, that massive data growth has turned into new revenue streams. And we've actually really seen that with our customers that have switched to Wasabi. They've recognized new revenue streams because they were able to save data they would have otherwise deleted just because it was cost prohibitive.
What are critical factors in developing a backup strategy?
So we're big fans of the 3-2-1-1-0 rule. We really consider it the gold standard, and it's something we encourage all of our customers to follow. So the rule is 3 copies of your data, 2 copies of media, 1 offsite, and 1 immutable copy. And then that 0 is 0 errors, right? Making sure that those backups that you're doing are actually working correctly. The worst time to test your backups is when you actually need to restore that data in a real world scenario. By leveraging that rule, you're making sure that, you're kind of covered in all your bases, and having that, 1 immutable copy off-site as one form of media kind of checks all the boxes. You can do that with Wasabi, and you have that air-gapped copy that's immutable to prevent yourself from ransomware attacks.
Segment 2, challenges with backup. What are the challenges with subscription flexibility?
So with every subscription model, whether it's, your subscription to a gym or your backup subscription, you always want to find a solution that can be flexible. You don't want to be constrained by a decision that you made a year ago or 3 years ago. The technology market is constantly changing, and you should be able to change, your business model and your technologies along with it. There's, true opportunity cost to being locked into a service that becomes obsolete over your contract period. So finding subscription models or technology solutions that don't kind of lock you in or have flexibility allows you to change and be the most flexible and easy partner to work with for your customers.
Chelsea, how can MSPs ensure that they are offering their customers the most cost-effective choice without hidden fees?
Hidden fees are like API requests and egress fees are really the gotcha of cloud storage service. Organizations really hope they never actually have to restore their backup data, right? Those are only kind of in emergency cases. But if they do, getting hit with those steep fees when they do need to retrieve their data really kind of adds insult to injury. And, it can break their storage budget for the year. And those hidden fees have really created an aversion in the market to cloud storage services, which is why when, we developed Wasabi, we chose to eliminate those fees and make our pricing really predictable. We just don't believe it's fair to kind of hold your data hostage. It's your data, and you should be able to download it and retrieve it when you need it.
What challenges do companies face when choosing the right backup?
One thing we see a lot as a storage vendor is, the customer or the partner only considers the actual backup application, and storage is really an afterthought. So choosing a backup solution that includes storage kind of bundled in as a service, it has its advantages, right? It's easy. They don't have to evaluate, two different vendors, but it tends to kind of hide the actual cost of storage and what they're charging. So, the cost for actual storage tends to be, astronomically more. Should you have chosen kind of two best of breed solutions, a backup and a storage solution that integrated together seamlessly? And then, of course, you need to consider security features. You choose a backup solution for security reasons, and security features like object lock and immutability support kind of that, goes back to that golden rule of the 3-2-1-1-0. One of those copies should be air gapped. And you want to choose a backup solution that offers that functionality, that has a backup option to the cloud, that offers object lock so that your data is protected and encrypted against ransomware.
That leads us to segment 3. How can Wasabi help? How can you modernize your strategy without getting locked into a contract?
So the key really is flexibility and terms. So again, as we learned from COVID, you need the ability to kind of be flexible and to pivot as your customers' needs change and as technology changes. So with our pay-as-you-go pricing model, you're not locked into a contract at all. You simply pay for the amount of storage you're consuming on a monthly basis. And because we don't charge for, egress fees, your pricing is very predictable. So you don't feel like, from month to month, you don't know what to expect on your invoices. And again, because we don't charge those fees, you can take your data elsewhere if you feel like, you're not happy with our service. It doesn't happen very often, but, you're allowed to download your data and take it with you, and we're not going to charge you a hefty fee to leave us, so you don't feel like you're locked in.
What is the most cost-effective option for your customers?
So our focus at Wasabi is 100% on storage. We don't offer any other services, so we can provide the most cost-effective, secure, and performance storage solution for your backups. Our two pricing models offer flexibility and cost savings compared to our competitors. We're typically about 80% less expensive than other storage services like Amazon. Our pay-as-you-go model, as I mentioned, is a monthly based subscription at $6 per terabyte, and you pay as you consume it monthly. And then our RCS model offers even greater discounts because you can purchase a chunk of storage upfront for either 1, 3, or 5-year terms and use that storage over the term as you need it. The beautiful thing about cloud is that it's scalable. So if you happen to go over the amount of storage you purchased, we simply just add on to your storage. It never stops you from growing. And we don't charge for any additional costs for our object lock and immutability functionalities. So you get those additional security benefits without having to pay for that.
How do Wasabi and partners make it easy for customers to back up their data?
It's a great question. We've built out our platform using the S3 standard API, which allows Wasabi to integrate with nearly any application that speaks the S3 API. So we validated our technology with over 350 technology applications, including all the leading backup vendors like Veeam, Rubrik, Commvault, and Cohesity. This allows our customers to choose the right solution for them and take advantage of our affordable, fast, and secure cloud storage for their backups.
Chelsea, thank you so much for joining me today. Before we go, I'd like to list my top 3 takeaways. MSPs need to ensure they meet their customers' backup needs. Wasabi can help you modernize your strategy without getting locked into a contract. If you're struggling with backup, Wasabi can help. That concludes part of the integration, Rethink Your Backup Strategy. I'm Kenna Johnson. See you next time.